Hi and good day to everyone. My name is Nurulina Zafri. ID battery 2023-932-569 from HTM606 Food Service Management.
Hi guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Muhammad bin Muhammad Nazari. My ID number is 2023-917 and 225. And me and my friend Adlina will talk about our research study about the Gen Z consumers to halal certification in Malaysia. Okay, let's go.
So today, my teammate and I would like to present our proposal research entitled Exploring Halal Perception Among Non-Muslim Gen Z Consumer Towards Halal-Certified Restaurant in Malaysia. So as we all know, Malaysia is an internationally recognized global halal hub where halal certification exists beyond the religion's compliance, which represents quality, safety, hygiene, and even ethical assurance. So with this, even our non-Muslim community has also been looked upon the halal certification to look for food for some restaurant to eat. With the growing influential of Gen Z that born between 1997 until 2012, which is a digitally active, socially conscious, and even culturally diverse demographic, their perception of halal-certified foods carry a quite significant implication for the future development for the Malaysia's food service industry. So, we can say Gen Z right now carry most influential consumer supports globally, and they even possess quite a strong decision-making autonomy and even highly responsive to the contemporary lifestyle influence. During this research, we actually has found some previous study that has conducted on how non-Muslim perceive of how halal terms and the halal foods works. However, numerous previous studies that we found mostly focusing on a general population and do not specifically represent the particular generation or even limit their scope to the halal certified restaurant. So, although right now Malaysia's halal certification has been well established and widely recognized among the Muslim consumer, safe to say right now less is known about how non-Muslim youth, particularly Gen Z generation, perceive about the halal certifications and existence of the halal term itself for them. And so this research is focusing on the non-Muslim Gen Z. So, one of the objectives is to investigate the level of the halal awareness among the consumers, non-Muslim Gen Z in Malaysia food service industry. And second is to examine the relationship between the perceived food safety or the hygiene and the intention to dine or to eat at the restaurant, at the halal certified restaurants among the non-Muslim Gen Z. And next is to determine the impact of the halal certification trust dining intention, which is will they eat at the restaurant or not if they know that the restaurant has been certified halal.
Okay guys, I will explain to you guys about our theoretical framework for our studies. So, our study using the theory of planned behavior and consumer trust theory to explain why non-Muslim and Gen Z choose halal certified restaurant. Essentially, when these consumers have a good knowledge of halal, they will stop seeing it as just a religious requirement and start seeing it is as a standard for cleanliness and food safety, which creates a positive attitude. So this attitude is the strengthened by trust. Specifically, they rely on the halal logo as a credible design that the food is hygienic and well regulated, By combining this positive attitude with high consumer trust, we can see a clear shift in low Gen Z perceived halal food service, proving that halal certification is a powerful tool for quality assurance beyond just religious circles. So that's the point for the theoretical framework. Okay, now let's dive into the literature review to see what the experts say about this topic. First, we must understand that the halal concept is no longer just a dietary loss. It has expanded into a global lifestyle. It represents a clean and ethical way of doing business that appeals to everyone, not just a Muslim. Secondly, the research shows that knowledge is power. Authors like Kamarul Zaman have found that when people actually understand what halal stands for, such as food safety and proper handling, their attitudes change for Gen Z. Knowing the why behind the halal makes them much more likely to dine at this restaurant. Our finally literature review is we look at the halal certification. Think about the halal logo as a seal of trust. According to Aziz and Chok, this certification isn't just a label, it is an official recognition of strict management and hygiene. For our target group, the non-Muslim Gen Z, seeing that the logo removes doubt, it gives them the trust and confidence that the food is high quality, which is the main reason that they decide to make a purchase. Okay, now let's move to our final 3 points of our literature review. Moving to the final points in the literature, let's look about the perceived quality and hygiene. According to studies by Sedu, many non-Muslim consumers actually associate the halal logo with better hygiene and stricter food handling than non-certified outlets. For them, halal equals to a premium quality. This leads directly to a consumer acceptance. Because they perceive the quality to be higher, they are more willing to try, accept, and eventually becomes a loyal customer of halal certified brands. These aren't looking at the religious side. They are looking at the professional standards. However, here is the most important part, which is the research gap. While we know a lot about the general consumers, we have a very little data specifically on Generation Z, non-Muslim in Malaysia. Gen Z has a different value. They are more influenced by social media, ethics, and global trends. My study fills this missing link by focusing specifically on how this generation decide where to eat based on their unique perception of the halal concept. For the logical in our studies, which is the independent variables, IV meets the acceptance of halal concept, which is our DV, and leads to purchase intention, which is our independent variables, which is knowledge and awareness of halal concept, perceived food quality and safety, and trust in halal certification. Leads to our dependent variables, which is DV1, which is consumer acceptance of halal concept, and it also leads to our DV2, which is dependent variables 2, which is the purchase intention towards halal certified food services. Now let's look at the 3 independent variables that drive our studies. The first, we have knowledge and awareness. We are looking at how much non-Muslim Gen Z actually know about the halal concept. When they realize it covers hygiene and ethics, they stop seeing it as just religious and start seeing it as lifestyle choice. Second, we have a perceived food quality and safety. Here, the focus is on the halal advantage. We want to see if this consumer associate halal with stricter cleaning and higher food standard. Essentially, is halal seen as a safer bet? So our last independent variables is trust in certification. This is all about the power of the logo. If the certifying body is seen as credible and transparent, it builds the trust necessary for a non-Muslim consumer to choose a halal certified restaurant over a non-certified one.
So, next to methodology, our study adopts a quantitative research design that using a cross-sectional survey approach to investigate the perception and the attitudes of the non-Muslim Gen Z consumer towards the halal foods, halal certified foods in Malaysia's food service industry. So the population of interest is non-Muslim Gen Z consumers in Malaysia that born between 1997 until 2012. So a sample size of 150 and until 200 respondents will be targeted to ensure a sufficient representation and manageable data collections. So the purposive sampling technique will be used to select the respondents who meet the age and religious criteria and even have prior experience dining at food service restaurants or outlets that have Halal-Certified. This ensures the participants are relevant to the study objective and can provide a meaningful data to our studies. So the data will be collected in a structured questionnaire which will be administered through both online and even physical methods. The online will be used via social media platform such as WhatsApp, Instagram, and so on, and even through the University Students Network UiTM. For the physical survey, Halal-Certified food restaurant will be selected, such as a well-known restaurant KFC, Domino's, Pizza Hut, or even the recently Halal-Certified restaurant or Sukiya. Collected data will be analyzed using the descriptive and inferential statistic. Descriptive statistic, mean frequency percentage, will summarize the demographic characteristic and overall perception, while the inferential statistics such as correlation and regression analysis will examine relationships between independent variables, halal awareness, perceived food safety, social influence, and the dependent variables, which is dining intention and acceptance of the halal foods. So the software that used will be SPSS version 28 or equivalents for the analysis. So for the ethical consideration, the participant will can take part voluntarily, and the respondents themselves will be informed of the study's purpose, study's intention, confidentiality and anonymity will be maintained, and the participant may withdraw any time they want to, and with no penalty incurred.
So that's all our presentation about the halal perception among the non-Muslim Gen Z consumer towards a halal certified restaurant in Malaysia. So I hope you guys understand about our speech, and I hope you guys accepting the knowledge that given by us. So that's all from us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a good day. Goodbye.